Hello, welcome to TJD Movie Reviews, episode 18. We watched Green Street Hooligans.
I'm Ty.
Jake.
And I'm Drew.
Drew, you want to summarize this movie for us?
Yeah, sure. This movie stars Elijah Wood as Matt Buckner, who is an unjustly expelled Harvard student, journalism student, who goes to visit his sister who lives in England and actually runs into his brother-in-law, who is Charlie Hunnam.
Mm-hmm.
And basically in a turn of events takes him to a soccer match, and turns out that Charlie Hunnam is the lead, what they call the major of these hooligan firms. And these hooligans are just crazy fans about the soccer teams. And they say it's even more important than the soccer matches, which is what this whole movie's about, is just the firms and them beating the shit out of each other after these matches. So it's basically who's the best at beating the shit out of each other, which is awesome.
Well, it's all about respect too and reputation. Yeah,
it's about these firms coming up and who has the biggest and best reputation for, I don't know, being the best at beating the shit out of each other.
I thought it was about wholesome fun.
Yeah.
I thought it was all about actual football.
That's what I thought too when I originally heard this movie. They're like, yeah, it's about a bunch of soccer hooligans. I'm like, I'm out. I don't want to watch this movie. A girl who I was seeing at the time recommended this movie, went out and bought it for me and said, you're sitting down and watching this movie.
Was it because of Charlie Hunnam? I
I
feel like no woman would know what this movie was if not for Charlie Hunnam.
I think she was a big Lord of the Rings fan, so she liked Elijah Wood.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
And you let this one get away.
Really turned on by
Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
That bony body.
You just said it.
I will say, Charlie, Hunnam, he looked like Ryan Reynolds did in Blade Trinity. He is pretty ripped.
Yeah, you seem to be pretty fond of that.
I pointed that out several times in the movie.
I just give props.
You actually
I'm like, man, that guy worked out.
He said he was half chub when he saw him. That bottle that just fell, that was Ty's erection that knocked it over.
Sure, yeah.
Because your dick's on your feet.
It's that big, it knocked it over.
I just wish they could see us.
But
it's that big. Fuck off. I didn't hear that until...
I would just, I was buried with emotions of this film. But they say like these soccer hooligans are like, Iraq, the issues we're having over there, just constant fighting with these hooligans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like...
I'm going to tell you right now, when you go back and listen to this, what you're saying doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it makes sense to me, and I care. Because it's like I was in a coffin. I just was left in a coffin when this movie was played.
Huh.
Just kind of in the dark, unable to do anything.
Just overlook it, don't acknowledge it.
The listeners are going to have no idea what he's talking about.
Ty, do you want to come out and just say it?
Yeah, we were watching frickin' Buried last week when, unfortunately, some things happened. We weren't able to finish the pod. To then have Drew decide to just change it up this week.
Yep.
We were, 25 minutes in?
We were a third of the way in.
Oh, fuck off. Wah. I watched 20 minutes of a movie and we didn't make a pod about it. We can come back to it. This isn't about Barry.
He was very charismatic in his part. He fit very well. Most of the side was out of place, but I think that was the whole point. Was he was supposed to be out of place? He was the Yank, quote unquote.
He's a timid kid who comes over to a foreign land in an environment he's not used to being in. Mm-hmm. And for Charlie Hunnam to show him this other side of England that he doesn't know about, and delve him into the world of hooligan fighting.
I'm sorry, but I can never buy Elijah Wood as what he becomes in this movie.
But
anybody else?
I'm going to ask, Are you an Elijah Wood fan or not?
I like Elijah Wood.
Okay, you just didn't like him in this role.
He's interesting. He's a weird pick for this movie.
Because they had Jake Gyllenhaal as their first choice, but he didn't do it.
He just didn't want to?
Yeah.
Turn it down.
I mean, Elijah's kind of he's a strange cast for it, but I think somehow he kind of makes it work.
Yeah. He's not like a con or anything. He's just, I wouldn't call him a pro either. He does what Elijah Wood does.
Yeah.
He gets his Elijah Woodiness all up in that movie. And
That being said, I really think, at least in my opinion, I think the acting was really good.
yeah, I think Charlie Hunnam's really good. I think Elijah Wood does what he needs to do. I think, what's her name?
Claire Forlani.
Yeah, she was good. She was dumb.
Yeah.
That's Elijah Wood's sister, who is married to, or is Charlie Hunnam's sister-in-law, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think all the main cast did their job pretty well. I thought the fights were graphic, like they should be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, throwing bottles and bricks and slamming people's faces against shit, and you know they show it pretty well. For the most part, they frame it pretty well too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple shots where they were getting really fucking crazy with the shaky cam. I don't know if you noticed.
Oh no, yeah. Sometimes it was hard to know what was going on or who was getting hit or.
For the most part, though, you could tell just exactly what was going on. There's only one or two parts where they just went a little overboard for me.
Well, doesn't the movie start with a fight? It starts with them fighting, right? And then it cuts back to Harvard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it starts with Charlie Hunnam and the rest of them like
train.
going crazy. I think Charlie Hunnam knocks over like a phone booth or whatever, is beating the shit out of somebody on top of it.
Somebody got their head slammed against a pole.
Yeah.
Like, that was an interesting intro, but the thing is, like, beside Charlie Hunnam, I had no idea who was on what side. So I'm like, wait, who's the Green Street and who's the other gang that they're fighting? So it kind of was like, oh yeah, it's awesome, we're starting with a fight scene, but I have no idea who's on what side. So it like when you finally get to the second one and you met some of these guys in the bar with Elijah Wood, it's like, okay, now I understand who's fighting who's getting beat up. So
you're just meant to believe it's a bunch of Englishmen just beating the shit out of each other.
I just imagine that's the UK at all times.
Ooh, really? All they do is drink and beat the hell out of each other and go to soccer matches.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, football matches.
Football.
Now it's soccer.
I said football and it sounded Russian for some reason. Because I can never do any just impression the correct way. Football.
It all goes back to Debane.
Debane.
Russian Bane.
The thing is, and this is unbelievable, we were having this debate. In the movie, they say Elijah Wood thinks baseball is better than football. Which then we had a discussion watching the movie where I say I would rather watch baseball, but soccer takes more athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
I think that both are boring as fuck to watch, but I'd rather watch soccer.
I wouldn't. So that's just me.
Okay.
The only times I watch soccer is when it's the World Cup. Otherwise, I don't care. And usually America gets knocked out early, so I really don't even have to watch.
If they televise the hooligan fighting, I'd watch that.
Well, sometimes they don't have a choice.
Yeah, it's happening in the stands. They're like, well, we can't ignore this.
That's why I'm watching the Olympics.
Ooh, just for the hooligan fighting?
Well, more like someone will be decapitating crowds of people and horrible shit will be
You're
happening.
gonna watch everybody get the Zika virus.
Is this breakdancing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, they're dying. Okay.
Jeez. Yeah, the Olympics aren't going to be fun.
I wouldn't want to be an athlete right now.
No. I feel bad for those people who train all their life for this and they have to wait every 4 years to then have to go to a hellhole like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not fair.
Well, money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It helps.
But do they really get, like, I know the U.S. pays them a stipend for their training and for traveling and that, but do they actually, like, get paid by the United States for participating in the Olympics? Like, do
I
they make
imagine you're well taken care of.
I'm sure if even if you do better, I'm sure there's probably an incentive to place.
You can take a dumbass like Ryan Lochte or Michael Phelps, and they seem to be doing fine, and they can't even tie their own fucking shoes, I don't think, so... And I hope you're listening.
Yes.
You can't read anything, so you might as well fucking listen to podcasts, you stupid motherfuckers.
Hey, they'll beat you in a swimming race.
A swimming race?
Yeah.
Okay.
To the death.
To the death. That should be like Death Race 4. They're swimming.
Swim trials.
Bring Jason Statham back. Didn't he used to be a diver?
I don't know.
I thought Jason Statham used to be a diver. I could be wrong. I'm gonna look that up. You guys go.
Why are you looking up Jason Statham?
Because I think he used to be he tried to be an Olympic diver, if I remember right.
I did not know that.
And then he decided banging Amy Smart against a mailbox was better. Actually, I don't blame him. It's a great movie.
But yeah, this movie was made in 2005 by a female director named Lexi Alexander.
What else has she done?
Oh, she did Punisher Warzone.
Oh,
gross.
That movie was terrible.
Yep, she directed Punisher Warzone.
And then
She directed an episode of Arrow and Supergirl and Limitless.
Limitless the movie?
No, the TV show.
There's a Limitless TV show?
Yes.
Yep.
Why?
It was on CBS. Even Bradley Cooper showed up for a couple episodes.
Why?
It's a crime drama and it's CBS.
But other than that, she hasn't really done anything else. I'll give her credit for this, though.
By the way, I was right. Jason Statham practiced diving and was on the Britain National Diving Squad for 12 years.
Oh.
Yeah. Fun fact about Jason Statham, who was not in this
Not
movie.
this movie.
The more you know.
But the thing is, he grew up with Vinnie Jones, who is also he portrayed a famous soccer hooligan in Euro Trip.
Not in this movie.
Not in this movie.
Okay.
He should have been.
He should have been. How badass would it have been to have Vinnie Jones show up in this movie?
Pretty cool.
I mean,
That's
I
a dude
would've
from
been like,
Snatch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Mm-hmm.
I would have said, oh, hey, it's Vinnie Jones. That would have been that.
Oh. I like Vinny. I think he's funny.
More pros?
Uh,
I thought pacing was good.
yeah. I would agree.
I was never really bored.
I think I'm going to go into a quick con.
James Caan?
Yes. No. He's not in this
Film?
film. I hate you.
Ask permission. Don't get in trouble. Is James Caan dead?
No, he's alive.
I just wanted to try to paint you as a necrophiliac.
You've been watching too much SVU there, Jake.
Yeah.
Anyways, a quick con. Elijah Wood's dad is very estranged in this film. Like, when he gets kicked out of Harvard, he tries calling his dad, who's this world-famous journalist, and that's why he was going into journalism. But his dad kind of just shows up for a quick plot point that gets Elijah Wood in trouble, and then disappears. And it's like, alright, I get why it added to the film. It had to add that tension that they were having.
He's a plot device. His
Yeah.
dad's a plot device and nothing more.
But he doesn't stick around. He's there and he's gone. And it's like, okay, I get what you're doing with this, but I think they could have had them figure it out without even the dad being there.
I kind of get mixed messages from the whole dad thing, because his dad more or less comes to him later, like towards the middle of the movie, and says, hey, let's try to get your journalism career back on track. You know, I have connections, I can help you out. And Elijah Wood more or less kind of says, well, I don't want to do what you do. I don't want to follow in your footsteps. But the movie is still kind of him following in other people's footsteps. You know what I mean? Like, he goes to the UK, he gets in with this group, and then there's a point where he's like, oh, well, they attacked our bar. And I'm like, none of this is your shit.
No.
You're just visiting here. Like, I understand that you feel like you're a part of something, but I don't know.
Well, he lost his identity, he lost who he was, so he glommed on to the next closest thing that was
Yeah,
around him.
But for that scene, which was kind of, I think, supposed to be like a fuck the system scene.
With his dad?
Yeah. It didn't really come off as genuine because it's kind of like, well, literally everything else you're doing right now goes against the way that you're acting right now. Like, yeah, your dad's trying to get you to do this, but he more or less was like, well, I don't want to do it, and I'm going to do my own shit, and, blah, blah, blah.
I see that. I also see that his dad was never really there.
Yeah.
And so I think he's got animosity towards his father.
I could be reading too much into it. It could just be he fucking hates his dad.
No, but I think it's that, but also at the same time, I think that his general attitude towards him saying, oh, I don't want to do journalism anymore, this is what's important to me, and blah, 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 like, that was kind of, I don't know, just didn't seem like his character.
He seemed like a whiny 13-year-old.
Kind of.
Like, I have friends now because I started drinking. So.
Well, like, did you see him, like, when he was talking to his dad, like, he gets up, like, he storms off, he's like, I don't need this.
Yeah.
But yet, he follows him to the Times. Like, if you're all not about this, he even complained. He's like, you can't just take me to the Times and make me meet the editor and I'm going to want to do it again. So then, like, his 2 minutes later, he's at the Times meeting the editor.
His dad goes, it's a free lunch. And Elijah Wood's like, okay.
Fucking poser.
Yeah.
Now, Drew brought up a point. I think you mentioned this a little bit ago and I wanted to ask. But did he really have much of, like, a character, like, before he left? Or was he kind of just a shell of a person? Like, when he was at Harvard, I like to think he was just a pushover guy.
He was a straight-laced pushover kind of kid.
He took the fall for his roommate.
Yeah, he took the fall for his roommate. Well, he didn't really have much of a choice. His roommate just kind of bullied him into it, pretty much, and said, "Oh, hey, here's 10 grand. My family's famous. Like, my legacy needs to stay together. And you're saving my ass. So when my dad gets reelected, whatever his position is, I'll totally hook you up, bro."
Yeah. See, I saw him at just he was nothing. He was jelly, I guess. Just nothing there. No defined characteristics. He could be molded, and so he attached himself to the nearest thing of anyone showing him, like, what's the word I want to say?
I don't know, affection, attention,
I guess, or just friendship. I don't think he had any.
Looking for a comrade.
Yeah, and he never had one. When you see him getting all of his stuff packed up, no one's helping him. Everybody's just kind of looking away, acting as if it's not happening.
Well, and I think he would, like I said before, he's super straight-laced. Like, when he gets in England, he meets his brother-in-law who his sister married, and then he meets Charlie Hunnam, and his brother-in-law that married his sister says, hey, take him to the football match, here's $100. And Charlie Hunnam's hustling him down. He goes, give me half the money, you can go piss off and do whatever the hell you want to do, and I'm going to go to the football match. And he goes, I'm not giving you the $100. Like, I made a promise. Mm-hmm. And he goes, no, you're going to give me half the money. Give me half the money.
That almost seemed out of character for him, though.
And he's like, no, I made a promise.
I would have thought that he'd just be like, okay.
I actually
He's threatened in his life. I don't think the first guy you'd ever stand up to is a fucking, like, football hooligan dude, like, that you just met.
Yeah, that, and he attacked him.
Yeah, he tried kicking him in the balls.
Yeah. There's some stuff that makes you kind of go, oh, that doesn't seem right.
But the things that are that way, like, I understand why it's that way. Like, because if he wouldn't have tried to attack him in the first place,
you don't have a movie.
You don't have the conversation where they're like, have you ever been in a fight? And he goes, well, no, actually that was really my first fight. Right. So you call that a fight? You know what? I am going to bring you to the football match.
Yeah.
I just think they went too far in the other extreme by making him a giant pussy at the beginning of the movie. Where they could have made him like, hey, I'm kind of a pushover, but not a complete pushover.
Which is why you think that Elijah Wood wasn't like the perfect cast for this movie.
He came off as literally spineless at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, we got more prawns?
Prawns?
Prawns.
Pros.
Alright, Are we fishing here?
I
We're
had
casting
a
some
mild
nets.
stroke there.
Jeez.
Gonna drive to the hospital with my tongue in about 20 minutes.
I like the little feature of fantasy football that they were doing. when Elijah Wood walks in.
Really reaching here.
Yeah, I know. No. I can't wait for football to be back. So sorry I went on a little tangent here as a joke, but I can't wait for football to be back. And they kept mentioning football, and it wasn't real football, so I'm like, But his roommate's trying to make a trade on the phone with Tommy Maddox and Keyshawn Johnson. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's old.
That's super old.
I'm excited for football as well.
American football.
How come there aren't, like, football hooligans in America? Like,
Because we're level-headed individuals. That's not true.
I was going to say, what?
Right.
Yeah, and we can't drink outside like people in England can.
Yeah. Actually, if we could do that, I bet we'd change overnight.
Yeah.
We would literally be England.
I think we'd be more like Ireland, but I don't know if there's much of a difference, but I'm assuming there is.
Not a lot of sheep to fuck around Nebraska.
Wow.
I'm Irish. I can make that joke.
That doesn't make it okay.
I have the sheep. It's okay.
It's in my well.
Oh, shoot. No, actually, I think some of it is that there's not enough. There's none that are really close. So, like, they walk down the street or they hop on a train and it's an hour ride.
Yeah.
Whereas here, you gotta go from, like, Seattle to San Francisco.
Yeah, it's an older country, so they kind of have a better infrastructure for, you know, hey, let's just jet down here. You know, we got subways and trains and shit in Nebraska. We don't even have an NFL team.
Yeah.
But, where am I going with B? Oh yeah, we don't have the transportation. Sorry, I've been drinking a little bit.
We got horse and buggy, and
No, we're not that bad.
We have Uber and Lyft.
Yeah, we can take Uber.
I didn't think Lyft was in Nebraska.
I don't know.
I know Uber is, but I don't think Lyft is.
She was like, don't quote me on that. I don't know.
I've used Uber here, just not
Yeah.
Lyft.
I'm pretty sure Lyft is in Nebraska. I could be wrong, but I haven't heard of anybody that's used it. So.
You can take the bus, buy some meth.
What?
Yeah.
Smells like piss.
Meth is really popular here.
Well, I knew in like the southern part of Nebraska, but in Omaha?
No, not in Omaha, like Grand
Okay.
Island and you know,
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
Pretty much anywhere that isn't here.
Yeah, over yonder.
Over yonder. The rest of the state.
There's nothing to do. Look at that sunrise. I'm gonna go cook a lot of meth.
Nebraska.
What else am I gonna do?
Visit Nebraska Nice. Also score some meth.
Jeez. You know, I grew up in those parts, like not exactly that far out.
I
but-
grew up in the meth.
I grew up.
I was going by it.
Yes. No. It's not
We'll
that
like the roof and
prevalent.
all.
It's not everywhere. There are your pockets, but I mean, you'll find that in every state.
Hmm. Give me your best English accent, Ty.
I don't have one. This is my best English accent.
Hello, governor. Oh, it was amazing.
That was not my accent.
Yeah, you didn't say it.
No. You guys are forcing this.
Forcing
Yeah.
you to do an accent?
No, you're. Never mind.
I made
I
accents.
just want it to
throughout the whole
happen.
movie.
It's
I'm
not
having
gonna
a giggle, mate.
What's a giggle?
A giggle?
A
Yeah.
laugh.
It's a laugh.
Oh, okay. I don't know. For some reason, it
It's the
didn't
same
register.
thing over here.
It's still over there.
Maybe you need to fly to England and join a hooligan team.
Another con. I did get lost with some of the English. This is true Cockney
Yeah.
English.
They
And,
talk
it's
like
not
this
as
and it's
bad
hard
as
to understand what the
Brad
fuck they're
Pitt
saying.
and
oh no. But that was like gypsy stuff. That like they made him a gypsy in that film.
What do they call him? The pikey?
Yeah.
In
So-
what movie?
In Snatch. Brad
Oh,
Pitt.
yeah.
So they intentionally were speaking like that. But this is just, taters and mash and I don't know. know.
Taters and mash. Is that your British accent?
No, I would
Taters and mash.
It's taters and mash.
Fucking sling blade over here.
No, I wasn't going for an accent. I was just saying, they're.
No, I get
Mash taters.
It was really hard to understand.
Like when
stuff.
When the main group is just talking the whole time, like you see Elijah Wood, like I don't understand what's going on. I'm kind of the same way. Like, what?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Well, I think that I think that's really true. Like, if you go anywhere, like it's kind of that culture shock where you don't. Like, I went to Mexico and everyone around me spoke Spanish, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
As a stupid American, I would say it's common. Just because.
Yeah, like
I've watched British shows before. I've watched British movies before, and you, for the most part, they go at a pace that you can still pick everything up.
Yep.
And there's only a couple parts in this movie where they kind of get a little too quick.
it's usually when they're in the bar.
Yes. Yep. But I think they're drunk and they talk. They talk fast,
which it adds to the realism. Like, I'm not saying it's a giant negative. It's just you're kind of like, okay, I'm not exactly sure what they said.
It would be nice to understand what they're
It
saying.
would be. It's
Subtitles.
like, I was gonna say, like Austin Powers 3 when Austin and his dad Michael Caine are talking in Old English and they have the subtitles.
Oh yeah. That's
Shat
hilarious.
on a turtle.
Never saw it.
You never. Oh,
Never saw Goldmember?
why didn't you see Goldmember?
Next week.
I am not picking Goldmember.
I was gonna say, you're gonna waste a pick on this?
No. I would do 1 or 2, but I wouldn't do 3.
I've seen the first one,
Yeah.
and I was kind of like, I think I get it, and stopped watching.
Oh, yeah. Will Ferrell shows up in that. When I was younger, I didn't know that was him.
And then he showed up in every movie ever made.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy who gets boiled or whatever.
Yeah, he's Fez. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second one, he falls down the cliff. And...
Mustafa.
Yeah, Mustafa.
That came out of nowhere.
Cons. More cons? Anyone?
Bueller.
Oh,
Bueller?
I didn't understand, like, I'm not part of this culture, so the hooligan fights, sometimes they were just bare knuckle brawls. Other times, like, they're bringing switchblades and brass knuckles and using broken glass bottles. Like, I saw them get hit over the head, but then they let the guy be. They didn't stab him.
I think in terms of, I'm trying to think of the name of the last group of people that they fought.
It was, what, Mill something?
Fuck.
They were from Millway? Is that it?
It's Millwall.
Millwall.
They mention in the movie that their leader had killed one of their other leaders' sons in one of their brawls. So I think in that sense, it got a little more personal.
Which he didn't, by the way. I mean, the kid shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
And the kid got trampled by everybody, but it isn't like the leader of the rival gang went over and fucking shot him.
No, but I think he took it personally, and that escalated.
I was
He's
gonna say,
just a bad father.
No, that's totally what it was.
the gang you're watching the story of is called GSE.
Yeah, the GSE. Yeah.
Which what's that stand for?
I think Green Street Elite.
Green Street. I didn't know what the E was.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's where you kind of get the title as Green Street Hooligans. So, but yeah, and there's one soccer match you actually see in this film.
Mm-hmm.
Not counting the one where Elijah Wood gets schooled by a bunch of 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
Which Charlie Hunnam's a teacher in this.
Yes.
I was flabbergasted.
So it's a different country, Ty.
Well, it was just funny when you actually see all the hooligans at their day job, and you're like, this guy's working for a computer company. This Charlie Hunnam's a freaking teacher.
Do your math, you fucking cunt. I'd actually like a teacher more that was like that.
Well, you imagine, like, you see Charlie Hunnam, like, getting the shit beat out of him, like, his face is all fucked up, and then he goes into class the next day, and it's like, all right, we're gonna learn about math, kids.
No, he's just getting his ass beat on the street, and then he's like, Charlie, you better be home doing your homework. Get on. Get to your science. And then he just cracks a guy across the face with a 2x4.
I was hoping you were going to do that in an English accent.
I'm sorry. I'm Elijah Wooding it.
That was his English accent.
God damn you, Ty.
You guys can be the Conry and the Hunnam and everything, and I'll be Elijah Wood.
Conry?
I just thought of somebody else, which he's not even British.
I thought you were calling me my D&D character's name.
No! I can't believe you admitted to that.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah.
That's getting cut out of the pod. Filled with shame. No. Yeah, Conry. That's my character. I really thought you were bringing that up. I'm
No.
like, what does that have to do? Alright.
No, as in Conry, as in the guy who played
Yes.
007.
Yes, listeners, I'm a fucking nerd. Enjoy it.
You probably have your Pokemon Go.
No, I don't.
No, that's me.
Fucking Pokemon Go. I
Again.
caught a Snorlax and I only got raped 3 times.
Jeez.
Yikes.
Use common sense, kids. Your Jigglypuff isn't worth it.
It's really not. Stay in groups.
Uh-huh. Once you've been sodomized, you will never feel whole again. Whole.
Jeez. This is
I feel like you're saying boys hole.
This is derailed.
That was a play on words that I wasn't actually trying to go for, but I'll take it.
But you did.
Oh, I gave you that look, like, really?
It was pretty good. The look made it. That look let me know that it was worth it.
That you did right. Oh.
Yeah. But I don't know, cons. Like I said, I don't really buy Elijah Wood as that guy. He's just not. He just isn't that. I don't know. Some people you just look at and you're like, they're not. How do I word it?
It's like John Wayne when he was Genghis Khan. It's like, are you kidding me?
Well, that was just racist. It never should have happened. But
Well, yes, but
I don't know. It was just. It seemed like a miscast.
like
but
Adrian Brody when he was in Predators. Yeah, he got stacked for that role, but I didn't really buy him as like an Arnold Schwarzenegger type guy. Like, I'm not saying he was terrible. It didn't fit.
I think it's in the same vein as what you're saying.
What about Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin?
I think he would have been a great Mandarin.
Had he done the Mandarin.
I don't hate the movie because of that. I know a lot of people do, but
I think Iron Man 3 gets more crap than it deserves.
I agree.
It's better than 2. Oh,
I think Man of Steel gets more crap than it deserves.
that movie wasn't that great.
Yes.
To be fair, Superman's garbage.
You knew that was coming.
I do. Yeah. I set him up for it.
I should make him watch that.
You should make it.
Fuck you, Ty. I'm not showing up.
And then the whole movie, we're just like, yeah, you're suffering. I don't know. There's not a lot of cons to it. It's a pretty watchable movie.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
I like this movie. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss. Oh, you want to know? Here's a con. His fucking sister driving down there is the dumbest shit in the entire movie.
I don't know why she would have done that.
She wanted her brother back. Yeah. So the GSE. Yeah, I said that right. GSE are going up against the Millwall group, and they set up, instead of doing it publicly, because Millwall attacked their pub, they decide to set up a private brawl on this wharf, and Elijah Wood's sister decides to just drive down to try and get him back, is why I assume. Because
common sense.
Let me finish.
Okay. Dick.
Hole. She's leaving for Boston. She's going to go live with her father, and she wants Elijah Wood to go back with her. She's just leaving her husband for a little time while he's recovering in the hospital because he was in the bar fight. He had sworn off fighting, he went there to save Elijah Wood because they hate journalists, and he had studied journalism. So there was kind of a backlash against him. But anyways, she drives down there to save Elijah Wood, but then she gets attacked because, well, they know it's Charlie Hunnam's brother's wife. And they're like, hey, we can definitely get back at him now if we, murder his wife is what it seemed they were going to do.
I think your average woman, common sense would dictate that if you pull up and 40 men are beating the living piss out of each other in a fucking vacant lot somewhere, you don't get out of your car.
No.
Especially if you have a baby
in there. Yeah, that was so dumb.
And she opened the door and was looking at him like, guys, stop it. And I'm like, no, nobody would do this.
You're going to be
Nobody
a mediator here?
Mind. So yeah, that really bothered me. I understand why they wanted her to show up. They made certain things more noble of a sacrifice that way.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, I agree. That was completely stupid.
Another con, the Britons drive on the wrong side of the road.
Okay, that's a con about England. That's not a con about the movie.
Well, it's where the movie's set.
maybe we're the stupid ones.
Yeah. We're the ones that don't use the metric system, Ty.
Hey, there are like 2 other countries that also don't use it.
Well, they're stupid too. I don't know what they are.
Do you have any real cons?
I think I've said most of my cons already.
Okay.
But check this. Budget of $347,000.
Wow, that is cheap.
Box office, $3.15 million.
So they pretty much made 10 times their money.
Yeah.
Did they get a... I don't think this got a wide release. Not over here anyway.
That I don't know. I mean, I don't remember it. I don't remember it being in theaters.
No, me either.
And I was working at the theater at the time. It didn't come to mind, so...
Yeah. I think this is one that just hit DVD one day, and I was like, oh shit, let me check it out.
Did you know there were 2 sequels to this film?
Yep.
Have you seen any of them?
No.
I haven't either.
I'm sure they probably rival the success of the great Stir of Echoes 2.
With Rob Lowe?
Yeah. And numerous other awesome sequels that went straight to DVD.
So like Death Race 2 and 3?
Yeah, sure.
National Lampoon's The Naked Mile.
Yeah.
National Lampoon's Bandcamp.
Anything
Or wait, National Lampoon's? You mean American Pie?
Whatever.
2 totally different things.
Are they really though?
They deal with the same subject matter, but 2 totally different
And
companies.
they're of about equal quality, as in they're all pretty shitty?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll agree.
At least we can agree there.
Like if you said National Lampoon's Dorm Days, then yes. That was terrible.
You've seen it.
I watched one part. One part did make me laugh, but it was really stupid. I kind of felt bad for laughing, but
It was more than I would have laughed during Spies Like Us.
yeah, probably. It was a guy had a special towel he kept for his alone time, and his brother hadn't had sex yet. He's like, "Hey, you've never done this either?" He goes, "You can't have such a big buildup in there." He's like, "Here, use mine." And he throws the towel at him, and he goes, "Oh, it cut me," because it's so stiff. So
That's pretty gross.
yeah, but I laughed.
I just have this image now in my head that won't go away.
Of a crusty towel.
Yeah.
Ty, do you have a crusty towel anywhere?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's letting it build up.
This is my masterpiece.
Oh,
I might
disgusting.
vomit.
As I said, disturbing.
Yikes.
Alright. Any more trivia? Fun facts?
We mentioned the Jake Gyllenhaal thing, which you said would have probably been better.
Personally, I think it would have been... He just seems like a better fit. Elijah Wood's not a big dude. Like, he's very...
But I think that's the whole point.
I get it, but I also don't think you can just take somebody and turn him into a mean motherfucker.
Hey, Joe Pesci used to be a badass. Joe Pesci. And you know how tall he is?
A badass in real life?
He was always portrayed as one. Like, look at Goodfellas.
Movies are not real, Ty.
Well, not according to you.
What did I say?
Event Horizon.
Yeah, the lead pipe.
Oh, fuck. Wow, I walked right into that.
yes, you did.
Listen, guys, any movies that deal with sodomizing with pipes are totally legit. I mean, Hollywood movies.
Wait, what?
Well, I don't know. Fuck it.
This is another film. Like we have these a lot, it seems, where the critics disagreed with fans. So like on IMDb, this has a 7.5 user review, but it's 58 on Metacritic, or 55. Sorry, 55 on Metacritic. But then you go Rotten Tomatoes, it's 47 by critics, but 87 by users. So it's one of the things, again, where it just is, like, people enjoy it, but it just wasn't critically liked.
Roger Ebert liked this movie.
Oh, good for Roger.
And E! Online said Charlie Hunnam's Cockney accent was one of the worst in history.
Really?
Yes.
Is he I thought he was Australian, isn't he? Or is he actually British?
I thought he was British.
I'm not smart enough to make that
Distinction?
assumption. Yeah.
'Cause
Not educated enough on Charlie Hunnam.
He's going to recuse himself.
Yes.
you're going to plead the fifth?
Yep.
Fifth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hate to tell you this, Joe Rogan,
I smoke rocks.
but this is not the first time I've eaten penis.
Yeah, he is English. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they said his accent was one of the worst.
But yeah,
His Cockney accent was one of the worst in any movie ever made. That was E! Online, so take that for what you will.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a talking point. Have either of you been in a fight ever?
Not really. I wrestled in high school and, growing up, but I don't really that's a fight that is not really a fight.
Well, you're not throwing punches, but you're still trying to get a physical upper hand. What'd you think of it? You like it?
What?
Did you enjoy it?
Wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I enjoyed it. I even coached for a couple of years. Yeah.
Drew?
Yeah, actually, I've been in quite a few fights. Luckily, I had friends to back me up. Me and my Blastoise actually
Oh my god.
helped me out quite a bit.
You trained him well.
Yeah.
Did you use waterfall on those bitches?
Nah, I fucking used hydro pump, motherfucker.
Ooh.
No, I had some scraps in elementary school, but nothing like serious where we're decking each other in the face. Mostly just like wrestling around and shoving and shit, but nah, not a real fight, no.
We used to fight a lot at middle school, but I went to Morton, and that wasn't a great middle school. And then I found as I went to better schools that I got in less fights because people use brains.
Mm.
And then I learned to use my brain a little bit. And yeah, but no, I don't know, it happens.
And say I did get in one big fight once where it was me and I had two friends, but only like one of them would come with me at a time. And then if we got in really big trouble, we would call our cop friend, and then they'd drive up and then shoot this missile or this Gatling gun, and it just rain hellfire down and knock out all the guys around us.
Are you talking like Red Alert 2 or what?
Fucking Streets of Rage.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
God, you fucking...
Are we killing you softly, Jake?
Thought we'd have a conversation, but you guys would rather talk about Pokemon and Streets of Rage. Great games.
Yeah.
Not real fighting experience.
Final Fantasy. World of Warcraft. These are real fights.
No, no.
I'm waiting for the plug.
What about Wii boxing?
He hasn't done it yet. See, Drew has set himself up nicely now to make this plug.
I totally did that unintentionally.
Okay, well now you know, so go ahead.
I do a podcast. It's called Friendly Fire Gaming. Check it out. We'll put a link in the description. It's 7 of us. We talk about video games and.
Totally intentional.
No, I swear to God, it was totally unintentional.
What about Wii boxing? Because there you actually have to move your arms and punch. So does that count as a fight?
Not really.
No.
I mean, you're doing emotion.
Physical contact with another human being.
Have you ever punched anybody in the face? Either one of you?
No.
I actually was in a boxing sparring match once, so yeah, I guess I had gloves on.
Like an official one, or like a drunken? Hey, I got these gloves.
No, it was. There were people there making sure we didn't hurt each other too much. So yeah, we all had headgear on and gloves. So yeah,
It hurts your hand more than you would think it does.
Mm-hmm. You have to punch the right way, or you totally
fuck
screw
yourself up.
You screw your arm up.
Which, when you're a kid, I had to learn. Like, I would get in fights, and then it's gonna sound really sad, but my dad would get mad because I would be crying because I fucked my hand up. And he'd be like, "You're the only kid I've ever known that wins a fight and still cries like a bitch about it." And I'm like,
I won.
yeah. But like, it feels bad if you're not doing it right, which
No,
I wasn't.
it's true. Like there's title boxing. Like there's one up here in Omaha, where you cardio workout while boxing, and they tell you, hey, punch this way, otherwise you're gonna destroy your wrist.
Yeah. So, yeah, fighting as a kid is not fun because kids don't know what they're doing.
No.
So you're just throwing your fist however you can get it out.
You look like Elijah Wood.
You look like Elijah Wood, yeah.
When he got into his first fight, he had never actually thrown a punch before, because he even throw one at Charlie Hunnam. I was like, he looks like a girl. No offense, but
he left at that guy like Halle Berry and Catwoman.
Yeah, he just
windmill
windmill his arms. That's what he did, and that's what one of the guys said is afterwards. He goes, "By the way, your first punch looked a little feminine," and that's what the guy said.
Just a bit.
Yeah, and he's like, "I'm sorry." He goes, "No," and they just laughed at him. But yeah, that one of the guys in the gangs really hated Elijah Wood though. Like he just hated Yanks. Period.
Bobber?
Yeah, I guess that's his name. But he just hated Yanks. Period. But yeah, he was Yankist.
He just didn't like outsiders, whether it be
Yeah.
Yanks or journalists or
Other gang members.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which they don't like to be referred to as gangs, because he even mentions that when he's talking to Elijah Wood. He's like, we're not like the Crips and the Bloods.
they're firms.
Yeah. They're groups. They're like a country club.
I just don't understand, like, when they found out that he might be a journalist and that he took classes. Like, I get that they're like, oh, he's going to talk about us, but it's just writing. Like, he isn't even from this country.
No.
He just showed up, so why would they think that he was writing an article for the local paper or something?
Any negative image that would be thrown upon the firm would not look good.
Or it could get them in trouble. Like,
Yeah.
yes, people know who they may be, but he has written accounts of what they've done.
It just seemed like an overreaction.
I agree.
Yeah. Slightly, yeah. But at the same time, they don't want the publicity.
Like, they literally saw him in a building and just didn't even talk to him about it. They're like,
Yeah.
he's telling our secrets.
Well, and the funny thing is that journalism could be used to help you too. So
Right.
like you as a firm, you want that reputation built up, but you don't want it in the press.
But if you think about it, even Charlie Hunnam was like upset when they were featured in the paper, because after they won their team won the soccer match and they got into a fight later, he's like, we shouldn't be front page. You know, they're taking away from the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Quit being hooligans.
Ooh. Hula hoop hooligans?
God damn it, Ty.
This is why I bring like it or not. I don't care.
I don't think anyone likes it.
Next week, we're watching Spice Like Us 2.
Oh, they didn't make one. They should have.
No, they shouldn't. All right, more trivia.
I
Move on
don't
to
think.
judgments.
I got nothing, dude.
I was gonna say I think we can move on to judgments.
You want to start, Drew?
Oh, sure. I like this movie, generally speaking. This is probably the third time I watched it. I really enjoy the acting. A lot of people say that the storyline's super predictable and stuff like that. I think it's more about like the fights and I don't know. I just really I enjoy it, just on a general level. Charlie Hunnam is great. He's a fucking badass, leading all these guys to fight other dudes, and I'm never bored throughout the flick. I could pop it on. I could watch it again and again. That being said, I give it a 7.5.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. Like I said, you lose some talking just because of the old English and all their slang, but really it doesn't affect much. But some interesting, like I said, there are some interesting things when like you see these guys as hooligans the whole time, and then you actually see their day jobs, and you're like, this is weird, and it's kind of funny, but. It's interesting to see the formation of Elijah Wood from like this know nothing to this badass, but which is a little bit unbelievable because it is Elijah Wood. I mean, he had 3 Hobbit movies and he just walked the whole time, but yeah, or almost got 8. But that being said, it's enjoyable. All the fights and that it does take a little bit away. I don't want to say it takes away, but the fight scenes are, like you said, very well done. But like the way they escalate, I think, gets out of hand. I don't know. I think like they did Soccer Hooligans justice, but at the same time they didn't.
The hooligans were too violent for your liking.
Yes.
Dude, these are like the same people that behead referees in matches after their team loses.
I don't think that happens often in
Probably
the
not in the UK.
Not in the UK.
Maybe a little south of that.
But, you know, I enjoyed it. It was a good watch, you know, even though we were watching Buried, but this was a good watch. But I give it a 6.2.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I saw it back when it came out, maybe a year or two later, and I feel about the same about it now as I did then, which is good that it's got some staying power. Yeah, it's just, it is what it is. You know, the title of the movie, Green Street Hooligans, you're getting Soccer Hooligans with the movie. So it delivers there. I think the fights are pretty good. I think the acting's pretty good. The pacing is good, because the pacing is where this movie could have really fucked itself.
Oh yeah,
If
easily.
it dragged at any point, it could have totally changed how enjoyable it was overall. But no, it moves at a brisk pace, and you know, you get what you came for. Basically, I give it a 7.
The only other thing I'm thinking of is one of those final shots before the big fight is you see one of the guys with one of his women, or with his wife. I'm assuming it's his wife, girlfriend, or whatever. It's like, was that shot necessary? Like, I think there were a couple wasted shots. It's like, this doesn't matter. Like, you didn't develop this character at all. So why does it matter? Yeah, it was right before
It
the
was.
fight.
They were all kind of like prepping and like what they. It just basically showed them what they were doing before the fight.
Yeah, but I don't think it was necessary. It was like they could just been meeting up. It wouldn't have been a big deal because you didn't develop any of the side characters really. So why show like such an intimate scene like that with this character that you know nothing about? I don't even know his name.
For the feels, Ty.
Well, he was feeling her up, but
Was he?
how do you not remember the scene? She was doing dishes and he walks up behind her and
With a lead pipe.
Now you've got my attention.
now, Jake. Oh.
You know what's up next week?
I have not decided, but I decided on a theme. Seeing that it's July, I'm going to go with a Christmas movie. Because, there's the old saying, Christmas in July.
Could be any number of fucking movies.
Exactly.
And I'm sure he's going to dick us around for an entire week while we guess
Oh,
what the fuck he's going to do.
Oh, I will. I already threatened a Good Day to Die Hard, but I've already done one crappy movie.
That's like the crappiest movies.
Yeah, it would be. Oh, I hated that film.
You bring Jai Courtney into this sacred podcast, and I will light you on fire.
But I mean, that opens it up to anything from like Ghostbusters to Christmas Vacation to Home Alone, Die Hard.
If you picked Home Alone, that'd be a choice pick.
All it would be you guys quoting the movie for an hour.
That would be amazing. That's all. That's what we do at work all day anyway.
But no, it'll be a Christmas movie, but I haven't decided which one yet. It may be Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I don't know.
Home Alone podcast just for me.
I'm calling it right now. Someday we're doing Home Alone. It's gonna happen. If he doesn't pick it, I'm gonna pick it.
I don't know why you guys love that movie.
I don't know. I can't explain it either, man.
Because it's fucking great.
Or it could even be Harry Potter. So.
Are those all around Christmas?
There's Christmas
Couple.
in it.
Yeah, a couple times. They all. I think like the first three each have like a Christmas scene in them.
Did you want to make your Ghost Rider announcement?
What Ghost Rider announcement?
You want to thank all the sad souls that buffed your numbers?
Oh,
Bangladesh click farm?
yeah. They're Thailandese, so. No, we've seen an uptick in a lot of our views on YouTube on every episode, but yes, Ghost Rider, that has shocked us how high it's gone.
We don't understand it, to be honest.
Our downloads in Libsyn too. We've been getting
Yeah.
an uptick in those.
For the month of July, what is today? 13th?
Yes.
July 13th, total, we have 350 downloads, which is unbelievable. So we just wanted to take the time to thank you guys for listening or sharing or
Word of mouth.
honestly, whatever the hell was going on, it's awesome.
We like it.
We don't understand it, and I'm not complaining when I say that,
No.
but I've crunched the numbers, and I'm not good at math, but it doesn't make sense. Because I'm not good
with numbers.
I don't know, but
No.
round of applause for those guys.
Like a round of applause.
Well, if you want, just a little. It sounds like we're all jerking it around, which we are.
Circle. Well, triangle.
It's how
Because
we
the
end
three
every
of us.
pod.
Triangles have edges, so they don't go on forever. But a circle has no edge.
We just want to say thank you, and if you do enjoy listening to the pod, tell your friends. Obviously, some people have been telling friends, but keep spreading the word, and we'll keep doing this podcast.
We're on Twitter. You can get at TJD Movie Reviews.
You can tweet me and then laugh while I struggle to figure out how to communicate with another person.
Because Jake has to take time out of his busy schedule of murdering children to.
The kids can wait. They don't seem to be too sad when I'm like, I'll be right back. They're like, oh God, he's leaving.
But
Another
then
day of life?
Let's try and climb out of this well.
he's asking me about fantasy football lineups. His team is terrible.
Because the 8-year-olds would know.
Yes.
David Johnson!
But also on Facebook at TJD Movie Reviews. Go ahead and like us there. We post stuff all the time,
We
or
have
we
a
try
Facebook
to.
page.
Yeah.
There's 12 people that like it. Most of which we see every day.
Not all of them.
Well, we appreciate those
Yeah.
people. But
Yeah. We're glad they listen, or at least are supporting us. But we love throwing stuff on there just for fun, and we love talking back with our fans.
And if you guys are listening and you guys are interested in seeing a particular movie, hop on Facebook or Twitter or
YouTube.
give us a suggestion.
Yeah.
We're open.
throw something our way.
Mm-hmm. We'll gladly waste one of our picks on it.
We aren't mean people.
No.
I may murder children, but I'm not a monster. famous last words.
Yes. I think that's what Hitler said.
Yeah.
Yes, I went there.
You better prepare for your deposition, Jake.
Well, from all of us at TJD, thanks for listening to our bullshit.
I'm Ty.
Jake.
And I'm Drew.
Bye.
See you next week.